All right, Shalom Israel. This is I.S.U.P.K in Hawaii, up under the command of Gen.YAHANNA. One of the topics that we had today for class was concerning the subject of hate. All right, concerning the subject of hate. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and type it in on the live chat or text the school here in Hawaii, which is 312-241-2161. Again, I say that number is 312-241-2161. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start this off in Matthew 22 and 39. All right. Again, that's Matthew chapter 22 and verse 39. Brian, can you go ahead and read that for us?
Matthew chapter 22, verse 39. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Okay, so just to go ahead and kind of backtrack, question was posed as in what are the greatest commandments, and Christ goes on to say this is one of the top scriptures that Christians would like to use to say we're supposed to love everybody is our neighbor and everything, right? Which is obviously not true. All right, can you read that one more time? Matthew 22 and 39.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 39. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Okay, so when it says thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, neighbor actually in this sense is talking about your people. Okay, so of course I'm not going to tell you anything that's not in the book itself. All right, so yes, you are supposed to love your neighbor, but not everybody is your neighbor. All right, go to Leviticus 19 and 18. Again, that's Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18. So when it comes to loving and hating your people, or what pretty much came about, especially through slavery, is we started giving our love to the wrong people. Okay, our love went from being from our people to those who actually hate us, to those who are actually were killing us, and it all came out of fear. All right. Hey, see, Brian, do you have it? Leviticus 19 and 20, 19 and 18. Salakia, Leviticus 19 and 18. Can you read that right quick?
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not average nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Okay, so it says, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. So it's already letting you know that this is talking about our own people, all right? And it goes on to say that, but you shall love your neighbor. So it's letting you know that they both coincide together, that your neighbor is actually your people, okay? So now, another verse that, Christians, not even just Christians, but other, fake little Hebrew Israelite groups or whatever are going to try to pull is concerning, abhorring an Edomite or, an Egyptian and everything. So go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 7. Again, that's Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 7. So again, if anyone has any questions, online, feel free to type it in the live chat or text the number here in the school. So again, You there, Brian?
Go on.
All right, Deuteronomy 23:7. Go ahead, read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 7. Thou shalt not bear abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land.
So, see, Christians be like, see, it says you shouldn't hate or abhor, an Edomite or Egyptian. Of course, y'all say that the Edomite is the white man and Egyptian is, the Hamites, everything. So why do y'all go out, saying y'all hate them, or are y'all going against the Bible when y'all say that and everything? Of course, the answer is no, because hating and abhorring are actually different things. All right, it's one thing to hate. It's another thing. It's another thing to actually act out in hatred. Okay, so of course, throughout slavery, what we've actually seen and witnessed, not even through slavery, but today's time is the white man's hatred for the blacks, the Native Americans, the Hispanics. All right, what they was actually doing to our people was abhorring. Okay, which is actually acting out in hatred. Okay, because they hate us for being the chosen people, or not even being the chosen people, spiritually, yes, but as far as for the color of our skin, for whatever reason, they hated us. Okay, not only do they hate us or whatever, but they actually act out in hatred. So because they hate me and everything, they're gonna go off and kill me. Okay. So it's no different from, these cops killing these, unarmed blacks and Hispanics, so on and so forth. That's them actually abhorring, because abhorring is actually the action behind the hatred. Okay. So whenever I say I hate the white man, I'm not going to go out and, trip, a white man, or go out and kill a white man, and go out, steal, rob, any of that, anything of that nature. Okay. Because that would actually be me, breaking these laws. That would be me actually abhorring and acting out in hatred. But as far as like actually hating, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. To actually, honestly, to actually show your love for the Most High is to love what He loves and hate what He hates. Okay. He hates sin. He hates the people of Esau. Okay. So of course, if I do love the Most High, then guess what? I'm going to love what He loves, and I'm going to hate what He hates. Okay. So we're going to get actually a little bit more deeper into that. All right. So now go to Psalms 139, 21, and Psalms chapter 139, and we'll start at verse 21. All right. But yeah, what we've witnessed, since the time of slavery, even up into today's time or whatever, okay, is the actual true definition of the meaning of abhorring. Okay, as far as the condition we're in, the hell that they've actually put us through. All right, what we're going through right now is hell. Them abhorring us, them killing us at every turn. Okay, as far as again, the abortions, the abortion clinics, that is, the cops killing the unarmed blacks. It's straight hell. And looking at some of the conditions that our people was put through, okay, that's actually hell. White people not seasoning their chicken, that's hell. Are you there? Psalms 139 and 21.
Gone.
All right, read it.
Psalms chapter 139, verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. I grieve with those that rise up against thee. Okay, so this is King David talking now, okay? He says, do I not hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? Again, if I love the Most High, then okay, anybody that hates the Most High or hates who I love or whatever, I'm going to hate them. Now, King David was a man who was known after God's own heart. So this was a man after God's own heart, and he has hate in his heart,
then obviously there's nothing wrong with it. Read verse 22.
Con. Psalm 139, verse 22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies.
So again, he says, I hate them with perfect hatred. So of course, that perfect hatred is actually loving those who the Most High loves and hating those who the Most High hates, because they hate the Most High. So what sense would it make for me to love the very people or love the things that the Most High hates? You know, let's see. Now let's go ahead and go to, let's see, Romans 9 and 13. Again, I say that's Romans chapter 9, verse 13. So before he starts reading and everything, again, I have to use this. The Christian church has polluted the very understanding of words. They polluted the very understanding of this Bible. They polluted the understanding of, Christ's teachings, so on and so forth. Okay? Because we're the only people that's supposed to love everybody for some odd reason. All right? We're the only people that's taught that we're supposed to love everything. But if you ask any Jewish person, any of those people that's in Israel right now, or those Israelis in general, ask them if they love Hitler or love the Nazis or are willing to forgive them. They'll tell you no. To this day, they refuse to buy a German manufactured car. Okay. But anybody will say that, their hatred is justified, through the Holocaust, which lasted just a few years, and so-called 100, like, no, I ain't gonna say 100, maybe 1 million Jews were so-called, killed during the Holocaust. But from 400 plus years and still counting, 500 plus years, if you include the Native Americans, 100 million from them, 65 million blacks was killed at the hands of the Spaniards, the Europeans, and the Arabs. Okay? And our hate is not justified, But of course, this was, the reason behind Christianity. Because now, with Christianity being embedded in us, now we want to love our enemies. All right? Now we want to, pray for those that despitefully use us, instead of actually hating them. Now, of course, when I say hate, I don't mean, go by the white man's definition of it, as in, acting out in hatred, or do his, what's a better way I can put this? Don't go by his example of hate, because his example of hating is actually, going out and killing killing those. All right. If a Muslim man come over here and supposedly bomb, the U.S. or whatever, guess what? The white man is definitely going to go to war. He hates Arabs, and he's going to kill an Arab. He hates illegal immigrants. So what he's going to do is put in place laws, wars. He's going to act out in that hatred. Okay? So whenever we say we hate the white man or whatever, all we really mean is stop giving your love to him and give it back to your own people. Now, I'm not going to say, hell, I ain't going to say, open up a door, for a white man or whatever, or they say, hey, go about my business or whatever. But as far as, me acting out in that hatred, go to, the first white dude, I see and say, you know what, I hate you, or, forget like, I'm not going to act out in any kind of hatred or whatever. Do I hate him? Of course. But it's not even about actually hating. It's all about actually loving your own people. That love that you was giving the white man for all of these years, which is what he's thriving off of, give it back to your people. That's true love. Because, of course, the Bible says that you can't serve two masters, because you're going to love one and hate the other. Okay? So, of course, we need to stop making him our master. We need to give our love back to our people. So what was we at? Romans 9 and 13? Yeah, go ahead and read that out.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So of course, the precept of this is, Malachi 1 and 3. So of course, this is not just an Old Testament thing. This is also in the New Testament, where the Most High actually hates Esau. So of course, Esau was long and dead. So this lets you know that it's talking about his people. Okay, it's talking about the people of Esau, or the Edomites. Okay, he hates the so-called white man. All right. So of course, now you have to ask the Christian if he hates. Now Christian's going to try to justify or try to twist and say that, oh, that's not what it means, but can't explain it. All right, when the Most High clearly hates a nation of people. Okay, so if the Most High hates them, then guess what I do? I'm gonna hate them. I'm gonna love what the Most High loves, and I'm gonna hate what he hates. Okay, so go to Isaiah 45 and 7. Again, that's Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. Say Con when you got it.
Con.
All right, read it.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I am the Lord, do all these things.
Okay, so whenever Christians say that, God of the Bible can't hate, Christ can't hate, we're not supposed to hate and everything. Okay, but and that they also say that no bad or evil can ever come from the Most High. All right, so whenever people say that, then guess what you're doing? You're actually putting the Most High in a box. You're saying that he's limited to what he can and can't do. Okay, which we know that that's not true. All right, if the Most High is perfect, then guess what? It has to be both good and evil, light and darkness. That's where you get your perfection from. Okay. Nothing bad happens or evil happens without the Most High's permission, which is why he is called the Most High God, or God, which means power or authority. Everything goes through him. He's the authority behind everything. Okay, so of course, light and darkness, good and evil. So of course, that's what perfection really is. Okay, he is justice as well. All right. He's not just only good. He's not just only, light or whatever. Okay. He is all of these things. All right. Again, nothing happens without his permission. Okay. Nothing does. So now let's go to the book of Luke. Let's go to Luke and okay, give me 1 second because I can find it right here. Let's go to Luke 19 and 27. Again, that's Luke 19 and 27. Say Con when you got it out.
Con.
Read it.
Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Okay, now this is Christ's own words. He's not going to say bring them hither and slay them before me if he loved them or whatever. If this Christ, all right, people have to understand that there's a big difference between the Christian Jesus and the biblical Jesus.
Of course, in the Hebrew is Yahushua. All right. So the biblical Jesus and the Christian Jesus are two completely different people. The Christian Jesus, they would have never killed him. If he was all love, then why did they kill him? That is the biblical Jesus, that is. If he was literally all love, then he owned like several mega churches by now. Okay. You get away with damn near anything. But the biblical Jesus, it described him as an austere man, uncompromising. So of course, when he say, bring them hither and slay them before me, he's not going to say that the people he loved, or if he loved them, then okay, oh, you broke the law, so it's okay for me to go ahead and forgive you, easy forgive you. No, Christ demanded people to be perfect. He wanted people to be perfect, just like the Most High is perfect. All right, and that's in Matthew 5:48. Okay, he wants you. He didn't want religious dummies or whatever. He wanted educated revolutionaries who was ready to die for their brothers. Okay. Let's see. Rivera. Shalom up. Got you counted for. But yeah, Christ, the Christian Jesus or whatever, white man, real feminine looking, homosexual, whatever, who loves any and everything. But this biblical Jesus, black man, who was hated, who they wanted dead, who they called austere man. Even in the medieval books, it described Christ as a revolutionary. Okay, he was called a dangerous man, in which he was. Even when they went to go arrest this one man, okay, they didn't send one person to go arrest him and everything. They sent a multitude to go arrest this one man. So he had to be really pretty dangerous or whatever for them to be that scared of him. So of course, understand the difference between the biblical Jesus and the Christian Jesus. Christianity and the Bible. The Bible cuts Christianity to pieces. All right. So of course, there's nothing wrong with hating. It's only a problem if you hate your people or your brother. All right. So from there, we're gonna go to Ecclesiastes. 1 second. Ecclesiastes 3:8. Say, Colin, you got it.
Con.
Read it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
So, of course, there's nowhere in the Bible where it says that, all right, it's wrong to hate, okay? Because people, from Genesis to Revelation, there's going to be some hatred there. But people want blacks and Hispanics to love, to go ahead and get that in your mindset that no matter what we do to you, you still have to love us. That's what's being pushed on us, okay? I want to say it was Hitler. Hitler said something, and yeah, it's kind of crazy that I'm quoting Hitler, but Hitler said something. I want to say it was Hitler. He said, if you control their emotions, you don't have to worry about their actions. And that was actually real heavy when he made that statement, because look at how they controlled the emotions. Yeah, he said if you control their emotions, you don't have to worry about their actions. And this emotion was beat in us through slavery, still being beaten to us right now. Because guess what? Now we're gonna be comfortable with staying in the position that we're in. We're gonna want to continue to love and march and protest for the injustice of our people. instead of actually doing the smart thing, which is actually separating, instead of doing the smart thing, which is taking your love from them and giving it back to your own people. Okay, so to the Native Americans, to the Hispanics, to the so-called Negroes or whatever, your love belongs amongst your own people, your own nation. Okay, not to the people that's killing us, not to the people that actually hates us. This is why the civil rights movement was a joke, was the biggest joke around, because we had our own businesses. And if we didn't, why not go out and, create it? You have to be a fool to want to march and protest just to sit at the same restaurant as the people who hate you and is killing you. Okay, why would you want them to make your food? Okay, same thing with education system. Why would you want your enemies? And that fact, Malcolm X actually said this. Why would you want your enemies to educate your children? They hate you. Okay, so don't you think that, all right, those children, they're going to grow up or whatever. And guess what's actually instilled in them right now to this day? All right. So, of course, if you look at, what happened with Black Wall Street, that's like one of the biggest examples to actually use in this sense. Because we had our own school systems, we had our own trade, we had our own, bus systems, we had our own businesses, universities, so on and so forth. And just in that one city, they was making more money than the rest of the nation combined. Okay. So of course, if you mess with white people's money or whatever, all right, you're not gonna mess with white people's money, actually get away with it. Okay, which is why they actually bombed Black Wall Street. They completely did away with it. This is why they wanted, Jackie Robinson to play for, their baseball league. They were the rich whites or whatever. They knew this. They wanted integration. Okay, like the middle and lower class whites, didn't quite process. But the whites that were actually in charge, they knew integration would work. This is why they praised Martin Luther King, Michael King, which is his real name, because integration benefited whites more than it benefited blacks. Because now instead of us owning our own businesses, guess what? Now let's get rid of our businesses and let's go serve them, or let's work up under them. Let's join their, athletic programs. Let's now get rid of our restaurants where we definitely season our food and definitely can make money from it and everything. And let's go work in theirs. Let's get rid of our education systems and let us go up under theirs. Okay. Integration is what's killing us. And it's what's benefiting, our enemies. Okay. So of course, this is why it's very important that we need to separate from our enemies, separate from those who actually hate us, and actually start building up our own brother. All right, start building up our own people, actually become a nation again. All right, start loving your fellow Native Americans, your fellow Hispanics, your fellow American blacks. All right, this is what's going to actually keep us, or actually make us live again in this so-called hell that we're living in right now. Okay, this is what's actually going to help us in this long run, especially when this is what Christ came back for, that we become a nation again. All right. So of course, that's going to do it for our class and everything. If anybody does not have any other questions, go ahead and type it in on the live chat. There was a few others. Isaiah 66 was one, and the rich man in the parable was one. Let's see. Money was another one. Some of these we're gonna have to get, concerning some of these we're gonna get, in the next class and everything. Or in fact, if you can actually contact me tomorrow, I can actually put this back up or whatever, and we'll actually go over, certain other breakdowns. But of course, go ahead and tune into ISUPK.com or onewest.org. Go ahead and look at the listings of the class schedules, so on and so forth. Be sure to tune in. We have the radio show on Monday. Israelite Bibles on Thursday and everything. So of course, make sure you support this school, pay your tithes, and do not forget the Passover on April 9th in Co-op City, the Bronx, New York. All right. So again, with that, let's say shalom.